So here we are. Oh, I love to see all the smiling faces. I'm glad, again, you were all able to join. Super quick. So I've been sharing how my tailbone has been bothering me. It's still being a little funky. So this class today is designed around that, but so little self-serving in that way, but more so to give you the tools in case you ever have any tailbone pain or anything kind of going on in that sacroiliac area. So this practice, I did my research around which yoga poses are good for that kind of pain. So this practice is really based around that. So, oh, no, this is Christine. I thought that was Chelsea. I was going to say, here's Chelsea. Um, but yeah, so if ever you're ever having any sacroiliac pain, anything like in that tailbone, the lowest part of your spine, these postures that we're going to do today will hopefully help you find some relief. So it helps to open, stretches the hips, strengthens the thighs, all that good stuff. So it looks like Christine is here and good to go. So let us find our way into child's pose. That's where we're going to start this morning. The pose of the child. We're going to bring our big toes into touch, the knees extending the width of the mat. You can rest the forehead directly onto the mat or use a pillow, a cushion, a yoga block to support the head if you need that. You can also fold up one or both of your arms if the head needs any support. If you do have the arms outstretched, you can keep the elbows lifted to make this a little more active, or drop the elbows to the mat to make this a little more gentle. Soften the shoulders around the neck and the ears. So notice if the shoulders are just sort of hunching up. See if you can gently press the shoulders back such that even in this pose of the child, you're drawing your shoulder blades down your back. You can press the hips back, no worries if the bum does not connect with the heels, but you still want to feel like you're pressing the hips back just to find that beautiful stretch in the lower back. For this practice or your own personal practice, remember you can always cushion up the space between the bum and the heels. Take a moment here to find your breath. Nice deep breath in. Slowly exhale the air out. Just feel yourself arrive. Maybe you're feeling the toes, right? The toenails even connecting to the mat. The fingertips resting onto the mat, your forehead. Maybe you're gently turning the head from side to side. Maybe you're just focusing on your breath here, eyes closed, lids softly closed over the eyes. Noticing the rhythm of the breath, the movement of the breath. Gently noticing the expansion of the belly as you breathe in. And how the navel gently comes back to the spine as you breathe out. Is there anything you're working to release, to let go of? What is no longer serving you? That as you're literally in this position of prostration, right? What can you leave here on your mat today? Or even if it's just leaving it on the mat this morning for these next 30 minutes of our practice together. Maybe there's an intention you want to set for your practice today. Just taking these next few moments to anchor yourself, to ground yourself. Just feel yourself arrive. It might feel good to gently rock the hips from side to side. So with regard to pain in the tailbone, which is also known as the coccyx, when you take this child's pose, it creates space for the tailbone. So that stretching on either side of the spine is really nice to create that space for the tailbone. It's really uncomfortable when your tailbone hurts because it literally, excuse my language, is a pain in the ass. Like it hurts the glute muscles, it hurts the hips, it just hurts the whole literal seat. And what I've been tuning into is just tightness in the muscles and my glutes, tightness on my sides. I've really just been focusing on trying to release the muscles, to give my tailbone space. So again, just these postures, if ever you're experiencing that pain, and I do not wish it on you, these postures can help to just support you on the road to healing and recovery. Let's take another deep breath in here. Exhale it all out. And then we're going to take a little bit of a rocking motion with our child's pose. Inhale, gently lift the head off the mat. We can keep the feet as they are, but then just bring the heart forward through the arms. Exhale, press yourself back. And just take your time here. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back. Good. You might even lift the feet off the mat a little bit if that feels good. Keeping the toes connected. Exhale, press yourself back. And let's just do a few more times, just adding some gentle movement to the spine here, gently warming up our body. Let's say about 5 more of these. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, come back. Take your time or pick up the speed a little bit if you want to bring some heat into the body. Let's do 3 more of these. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Just give this another breath in child's pose. Breath in. Exhale out. Beautiful. And then let's come on up to hands and knees. Pushing up the knees if you need that support. So y'all know I love to teach cow and cat or cat and cow in every single class. So I was overjoyed when cow and cat was one of the postures that was recommended for relieving tailbone pain. You can tuck toes under or have flats of the feet on the mat, whatever feels good for you, knees about hip width apart. And if you want to jazz up your wrists this morning, or take a wrist stretch rather, you can turn the fingertips in towards the knee. See how that feels for you. If that's just not comfortable or that's not where you are, you can keep the fingertips pointing forward. Maybe you want to just play around with one wrist at a time, whatever feels good for you. Press the mat away so we're not dumping into the shoulders. Inhale, press the heart forward for your cow breath, little arch in the back. Exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, spine to ceiling, rounding the spine. And let's do a total of 10. Inhale, exhale. You might do a little bit more than 10 if you're going at a speed, a little bit more fast paced, or if you started before I actually started. Wherever you are, connect with the breath here. Inhale, heart pressing forward, maybe lifting the gaze. Exhale, bring it all in. Really drawing that navel into the spine to work the core muscles there. Pressing the mat away as you draw that navel into the spine on the exhale. Good. Let's say 5 more here, yogis. Inhale, heart pressing forward. Exhale, bring it all in. Good. Beautiful. Last 3 here, yogis. Inhale. Exhale, round. Last 2. Exhale, round. Last one here. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Come back to that neutral spine. Take a breath in. Exhale out. And then let's come down to the forearms to give our wrist a break. We'll bring the palms together, prayer hands, and then try not to have the elbows splayed out too wide. So you don't want them touching, but when you look down to your elbows, like a nice shaped V here, because as we move through these knee curls, which is what we're going to move into, the elbows may continue to splay out. So have them in a little bit closer, anchor through your palms, and then ground the hands into the mat. So the sides of the pinkies are into the mat. Let's go ahead, extend that right leg back, toes point. We're going to do 10 knee curls on each side, yogis. Really squeeze those thighs. Use your breath. Inhale as legs are extended. Exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale to extend, gazes forward. Exhale, draw the nose into the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Beautiful. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Beautiful. Inhale with the extension. Exhale, bring it in. 5 more this side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The last 3 on this side. Last 2. Last one here. Extend, breath in. Exhale, draw it in. Rest the knee down to the mat. Take a breath in and a breath out. Beautiful. Left leg extends, toes point. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale to extend. Exhale, bring it in. Try to keep your hips under control. So in other words, if your hip is opening, try to keep that hip point facing down to the mat. Good. When you are dealing with lower back pain, you might often feel like, oh my gosh, I just want to stretch things out. I just want to feel opening. And you do, but it's also important to strengthen the muscles around the lower back, around the hips, around everything that supports or is connected to the lower back. Let's do 2 more here, yogis. Inhale. Exhale. Last one here. Bring it in. Beautiful. Drop to the knees. Let's take a puppy pose. So we'll place the hands onto the mat. The wrists are in front of the shoulders. So remember, puppy pose is a combination of like down dog and like tabletop with a little bit of child's pose. So we keep the hips stacked over the knees. The arms are at that slight angle. So again, our downward facing dog arms. And we just press down, press down, press down through the heart. So the hips stay lifted. If it helps to have a visual cue, picture me standing behind you, my hand in between your shoulder blades, pressing the heart down. You can rest your forehead onto the mat. You can rest on a block here. If this just doesn't serve you, you can take child's pose instead. Give yourself 5 deep breaths here. Toes can tuck or untuck. Find your breath. Continue pressing the heart down to the mat. Think hand between shoulder blades, gently pressing down. That helps to open up the chest. That helps to open up the upper back. Beautiful, yogis. Let's take 2 or 3 more breaths here. Good. One more full deep breath in. And exhale out. Beautiful. Gently lifting the head away from the mat. If you are in child's pose, I invite you to come to tabletop. And if you're in puppy pose, let's go ahead, tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips. Find our way into downward facing dog. Again, child's pose is your option here. Hands and knees is your option. Bringing the body into the shape of an upside down V. Good. Soft bend to the knees. Deep breath in, exhale, press belly towards the thighs. Let the head hang. You might pedal your feet. You might come up to the tippy toes, slowly lower down to the heels. And remember, no worries if the heels don't connect with the mats a little early in the morning. The hamstrings might still be a little tight. The lower back might still be a little tight. Be where you are, yogis. Be where you are. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Find your breath. One more deep breath in. Hold for the exhale. Nice and easy. Let's come back down to the knees. We're not doing triangle today, but we are doing another favorite pose of Antigone's and of the groups, I think. We're going to go ahead and do pigeon pose. So let's go ahead, step the left foot forward between the hands. And then we're going to walk that left foot over to the right side of the mat. Dropping the knee outside of the left arm, curl under your right toes and just drag that knee back. And then uncurl right toes. I think pigeon is a favorite of Jackie's as well. Take a glance back. Notice that your right heel is in line with your hip. And the cue is the front leg is at a 90-degree angle, but no worries if your front leg is not taking exact 90 degrees. That is all on hip rotation, hip opening, tightness in the lower back. So just be where you are. I'm going to take 10 breaths on each side in this pigeon. So 10 gentle breaths. So we're staying in line with the gentle class. And you can keep your pigeon lifted in sort of a king pigeon version, or you can come to fold over the leg and rest here. If you are feeling tightness in your hips, you might play around with walking your hands to the left and giving yourself a little twist over the left leg, and then countering that by walking the hands to the right and just twisting, say, towards your right shoulder. So if you are feeling tightness in the outer hips, sciatica pain, any of that kind of pain, adding a little bit of this twisting motion to your pigeon can really help to get into some of those tight areas. Gently pull your right hip forward, left hip back, anchor down through your right thigh, finding that squareness in the hips. Notice if you are gritting, gripping, resisting in any way, and just see if you can soften your response here. Soften into the resistance, soften into the edge, find your breath. If this is a little too intense for your body this morning, always remember you can take reclined pigeon as your option. So that's coming onto your back, taking that figure four with your legs. So always remember that is your option if full pigeon is just not available to you in the moment. Let's take about 3 or 4 more breaths here, yogis. Softening your shoulders, softening the muscles of the face. Noticing what you're noticing. So again, with this tailbone pain, I've been noticing extreme pain, like just tightness in my glutes, tightness in my outer hips. So this stretch is feeling really, really amazing on the external hips. Beautiful yogis. Let's take one more full deep breath in here. Exhale out. If you are folded over the front leg, place hands on the mat to gently lift yourself. And then yogi's choice here. You can curl right toes under, pick up that right knee and either take a plank. You can drop to the knees and shake out the legs. You can take a downward facing dog, whatever feels good for you here. I'm going to take a plank, breath in, exhale out. Again, take whatever feels good for you here. And then let's come back down to the knees, unless you want to come to your pigeon through downward facing dog, stepping your right foot forward between the hands, walking that right foot over to the left edge of the mat. Right knee drops outside of right arm. And drag that left leg back, uncurl left toes. Quick glance back to notice that your left heel is in line with the foot. So remember, as much as we can, we want to avoid sickling with the foot when we're in pigeon or low lunge or anything where that back leg is extended. And sickling is like the foot turning in or turning out. If you have a little bit of pigeon toe like me, that just might be a natural thing. But as much as you can, align that heel with the hip. And then again, you can stay lifted in your pigeon. You can play around with maybe twisting again, walking the hands to the right, little twist in the lower back there. Counter that by walking the hands to the left. And then if and when you feel ready, fold forward over the front leg to take a resting or sleeping pigeon. This time we pull our left hip forward, right hip back, smallest of moves, but you may notice how that really helps to align the hips. Anchor down through your left thigh here. And find your breath. Again, softening your shoulders, your fingers. Are you gritting your teeth? Are you squinting your eyes? So what ways, even if it's in the smallest of ways, might you be fighting the posture, resisting the posture? Beautiful, yogis. Notice what you notice. Let's take 3 or 4 more breaths here. Beautiful, yogis. Take one more beautiful, big, deep breath in here. Exhale, exhale, exhale. You're folded over the front leg. Gently place hands onto the mat. Lift yourself here. Curl left toes under. Pick up left knee. Taking plank, hands and knees to shake out the leg. Down dog. Whatever feels good. Breath in. Breath out. One more breath in. Exhale out. And then nice and easy, finding your way onto your back. Take your time here. Gonna play around with bridge pose. And then just like that, find our way into Shavasana. So let's go ahead, come to the mat, bending the knees. Feet are just about hip width apart. Arms alongside the body. Now, again, just because this is a gentle yoga class slash how to heal your tailbone, when you are experiencing tailbone pain, the key is to try not to put pressure on it. So again, sitting for long periods of time, even lying on your back. So here, this can be a little bit uncomfortable, but bridge pose helps to strengthen everything that supports the lower back. So the hips, the thighs, the glute muscles. So this is a good posture for helping to support that. So our feet are about hip width apart. Again, arms alongside the body, palms facing down. With the inhale, press down through the soles of the feet as you gently lift the hips away from the mat and towards the ceiling. Y'all have all been with me collectively 10 years just about. So y'all know the cue I love to give here. Grab that imaginary beach ball. Squeezing your beach ball between your thighs. If you have a real beach ball, go ahead and use that if you feel called, or a yoga block. Good. And so you want to squeeze your thighs, engage your thighs. That's what's, squeezing the beach ball here. Now, just if you're noticing tailbone pain, so you may not be experiencing it in the moment like me, but there is a tightening of the glute muscles, right, as you lift, because you're using the muscles here. So you want to make sure that they're not so tight that it's putting pressure on the tailbone. So just finding that sweet spot, which is where having a prop will come in handy, because using the prop helps you to engage the muscles as opposed to just like forcing your own body weight, if that makes sense. It's kind of like when we do restorative yoga and we use the props, and the props do the work more so than our body, but our body still gets that benefit. Good. Let's hold this for 3 more breaths. Inhale. Maybe you can lift those hips a little higher. Exhale. Keep squeezing your beach ball. One more deep breath in. Hold for the exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, and with the exhale, lower down, top of spine, middle of spine, base of spine. And once the spine completely reconnects with the mat, just give yourself a breath or 3 here, just to give the spine a moment to reset itself, to come back to that neutral space. And taking one more deep breath in here, and exhaling out. All right, yogis, gently hugging the knees into the chest, taking Uttanasana, also known as wind relieving pose. If there is another posture you want to explore at this time before we move into Shavasana, do honor your body, honor your practice. If you choose a 2-sided posture, just be sure to do both sides. Otherwise, if it feels good, just hugging the knees into the chest, maybe adding a little rock from side to side. Maybe you want to bring the head in to meet the knees, whatever feels good for you here. And take about 3 more breaths. So if you are working through another posture, you might want to begin to find your way out so that we can all move into Shavasana. Good. But if you are exploring another posture and you're feeling good where you are, then meet us in Shavasana when you're ready. Let's take another deep breath in here. Hold for the exhale. Good. And then with your next exhale, extend and release the legs onto the mat. If it feels better to take constructive rest, bending the knees, honor the body. The feet can walk out to the edges of the mat or beyond the edges of the mat. Arms the same way. Soften the shoulders, relax the muscles of the face. The eyes are closed, letting the lids be softly closed over the eyes. It might feel good to fill yourself up with a nice big inhale here. Fill your belly, your lungs, your chest. And then with the exhale, feeling everything release and relax into the mat. Staying anchored to your breath here. The mind anchored to the breath, the body. Simply noticing your inhales and your exhales. And as you rest here, I'll share a passage from Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart, Daily Meditations on a Path to Freeing Your Soul. And this passage is from today, May 15th, and it's called Lighten Up. The time for heaviness is past. Heaviness of body, mind, spirit, and heart. The heaviness many of us felt was part of a time now gone. It's time to lighten up. He was a different person, she said, cheerful, happy, fun to be around. Things that used to bother him no longer did. The woman was talking about her husband of only 3 years. She had dated him for a long time. Then after nearly dying of a heart attack, he was changed, transformed. They married and had the best 3 years of their lives before he died. Those years were possible because he had learned to enjoy life, learned the value of love. We don't have to wait to open our hearts and enjoy life. We don't have to wait to lighten up. We can do that now. We know that we can trust, that we can journey through each stage of our lives with open hearts, loving and living freely. Let go of heaviness. Seek that which is light. Gravitate toward joy. Your soul and body will lead you if only you will listen. Walk lightly. Speak and laugh lightly as much as possible. Go lightly along your way. Taking another beautiful deep breath in here. And exhaling the air out. Inviting gentle movement into your body by gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Circling around your ankles and your wrists. If it feels good to hug the knees into the chest here and gently rock from side to side, you might do that, or you might simply bend the knees and gently windshield wipe the knees from side to side. Maybe turning the head from side to side or tilting the head up and down. Gently rolling or rocking all the way to your right side, resting in a fetal position with the head supported by the hands. Pausing here as you take a breath in and exhale out. And using the hand that's closest to the earth to very gently press yourself up, finding your way into a comfortable, easy seated posture. Maybe sitting with legs crossed or sitting on knees, whatever feels good for you. Resting hands on thighs in your lap, at your heart, on your belly. Softness in the shoulders, length in the spine. Taking a moment to reflect on your practice today. And I did pull an affirmation card while you were all resting. And our message for today is adventure. You can feel it, can't you? A gentle tug here, a soft push there. The steady whisper of adventure humming deep within your belly, begging you to come and dance with it. So, what are you waiting for? Make the change, take the risk, embark on the journey. You were never meant to thrive within anything else but that which makes your soul come alive. Mm. Find your free. Find your free. Oh, lovely. So, taking another beautiful breath in here, exhaling out, saying to yourself silently or out loud, thank you. I love you. I trust you. I forgive you. And again, finding another breath in and exhaling out. May we all be happy. May we all be free. May we all be peaceful, easeful, useful, and joyful. The light and the honors, the light in each of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. And namaste.